I've got 41 acres in California located in Siskiyou County. My name is Miles McLaughlin here at Wilco Land. I'm going to break down the property in this video with you. I'm going to cover some common questions. I'm going to talk about how you can access the property at the end of the video. And I'm just going to kind of break down who the target audience is and tell you what I know about the property. So haven't gotten any photos yet to start. And I'll start with a disclaimer. This isn't legal advice. It's not real estate advice. I'm simply sharing my opinion and my thoughts on the property through my own due diligence. So let's get started here. Haven't sent a photographer up here. This is located, I want to say around 8,000 feet elevation. It looks like it's going to have some really cool views of Mount Shasta. And I'll pull the property up on satellite imagery to give you a quick look too. You can see there's road access right to the property up here on the west side of it. This is a Forest Service road. You can see there's also maybe a 2-track that goes through it, but really it looks like you're accessing it from the west side right here. I'll pull this up on Onyx Maps as well and teach you how to use that app for land viewings here at the end of the video. So again, we're looking at a pretty nice piece of land. This is going to be your classic mountain property, right? Why are people buying this? Hunting, an off-grid cabin, recreational purposes or just investment purposes, right? You could build on this thing. You can use it for recreation, hunting, snowmobiling, whatever your heart desires, right? You're out here in the boonies. You may even have some valuable timber sometime down the road. I'm not an expert on that industry, but just showing you the property here, and we can see it's got some pretty sweet views, I think, of Mount Shasta. Obviously, I haven't been to the land myself, but this is Haight. This is a peak right here, and here's Mount Shasta as we zoom out. So you can kind of see you might have some views of Mount Shasta there. You're right by Tennant, California. I'll pull the property up on a map for those interested, and Google Earth has some cool, Alder Creek Divide is right there. Looks like a ski area is out here, Antelope Creek Lodge. So definitely a popular area probably for recreation, hunting, some sort of Forest Service cabin out here. You can see Mount Shasta is just a hop, skip, and a jump away. So you're kind of at the foothills really right here of Mount Shasta. And then here's a town, Mount Shasta. So let's take a peek at this property just on Google Maps to see what we're looking at here. We're in Siskiyou County. We're outside of like Mount Shasta, south of Mount Hebron and Macdoel. Down here in this mountain range, you can see Antelope Creek Lodges right here, Tennants right here. Having a lodge right here, what does that tell me? That there's a desire to be out here. People want a vacation. People want to stay here when they're hunting, when they're out snowmobiling, when they're fishing. You can see all that, right? So up by our property, you're going to see probably, and we'll pull it up on Onyx Maps, we're going to be able to see, this is my favorite app, by the way, for land viewings. We're going to be able to see, all this Forest Service. Here's that Tennant campground. That tells me there's a lot of desire to be up here for recreation. And you can see we're adjacent to Klamath National Forest. So if I click on that, it's over 210,000 acres. This is our property that we purchased here. Lepus Road runs right along here. So this looks like a good access point. Otherwise, it looks like somebody, maybe the previous owner, has been blazing a trail. It looks like a 2-track that goes through the property here to access it as well. And somebody might potentially be driving all the way down here. I can't tell. You'll have to go explore on your own. Sometimes Onyx Maps just picks up some of those roads. But like I said, a nice property, some good vegetation on the property from what it looks like. I haven't had a photographer up here because we're looking at roughly an elevation of about 6,300 feet elevation. Just to let you know, it's about 6,300 feet elevation. And kind of showing you some imagery of the property here. So again, we're going to have some pretty good views from the property. It's pretty easy access. So you'd probably hop on this Tennant Road. There's a Forest Service Information Center. So you'd probably start there. If you can find this Forest Service Information Center, you see that here when talking about access to the property. Here's Haight Mountain Loop. And then here's a Forest Service Information Center. You take this Tennant Road down here to Haight Mountain Loop Road, it looks like, and maybe even turn before then. So you take Tennant Road, it looks like you can get off here and potentially come up through here. Do you see that, how it comes off? That's probably a 2-track. Or else you're coming off on Haight Mountain Road, you're getting on Rock Springs, you're taking E-Tape, you see this road. These are Forest Service roads. So understand your target audience. You're not going to hop in a two-wheel drive and get up to this property more than likely. That's my guess is you should have an SUV, you should have a pickup truck, something like that. But you can see that these roads, these Forest Service roads going through Klamath National Forest, eventually come and access our property. You take it, you'd want to get to Manzanita. This goes to Lepus. That gets to our property. Another access route is you can keep going on Tennant Road. You see that on Haight Mountain Loop? And if you keep going, you can actually take what looks to be a much better road. You get on Manzanita. So you take Haight Mountain Loop to Manzanita. Manzanita will connect you to Lepus. You come back around. Then you enter this subdivision, and you would access our property from over here. That's the access route. So reversing this, you've got our property right here. You've got Lepus Road. You've got a 2-track here. You're going to take Lepus, and you're going to go to Manzanita, and that's going to bring you to Haight Mountain Loop. And that Haight Mountain Loop's a nice road right there, and that's going to take you to Tennant Road. So you can access Tennant Road from the east or the west. If you're coming in from Tennant, you're going to come in this way and hop on Haight Mountain Road. That's going to take you right up through Lepus Loop. You can follow my cursor. If you're coming in from the other way, you're going through Forest Service Station. But it looks like the easiest route now after another review is coming in from Tennant. You're going to head south on Haight Mountain Loop. Again, just retracking these footsteps. You're going to go over on Manzanita, and then you're going to take Lepus there, and that's going to drop you off into this property. So really, really close access to a main road. You might be able to go access this thing during the winter. Like I said, I should probably try and send a photographer up here. I don't know what it's like at 6,000 feet in the middle of January right now. So if we zoom out, we're surrounded by Klamath National Forest. This was a really cool recreational land investment. You don't see a lot of properties like this in the market. We've got some details for the property here. For land viewings, just plug these GPS coordinates into Onyx Maps. Like I said, the target audience is somebody who's probably going to have a skill set in using GPS coordinates. If you don't, like I said, this tutorial hopefully helps you out. I have the elite version of Onyx. I think they have a free week trial. There's other apps like Landglide, but I wouldn't trust just Google Maps bringing you to the property. So take a little bit of time and research your route before you get out there. So give us a call if you have questions. I do have other properties on the homepage. You can reach us here at 605-299-5553. Thanks for tuning in.